Evening.
What's up? Oh my goodness,
What's
the viewers
up?
have loaded up. That can only mean one thing.
That there might be a Saber giveaway tonight.
Know that we have absolutely a fantastic guest that nobody in the world wants to miss.
That is definitely true as well. I'm actually very excited. Hi, Steve. Hi, Mike. Hi, John.
Oh,
Hi, Liam,
and
Duran, Graveyard, Cody. Love you, Cody.
there is
There
this too.
is
There is
the
this. This
Dark
is the
Saber.
NeoPixel Dark
Oh my
Saber
goodness.
by TXQ. We will be giving this away to a lucky winner tonight. This is you can't I wouldn't combat with them. They're pretty sturdy. You can hit it. It's got multiple settings, and as this is a profi, you can
against the blade.
you can
Promise,
program
yes,
it
we're on time.
with different things, and it already has several sound fonts built in already.
You're giving a pixel, not coffee.
Oh yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Sorry. This is a SN. We are giving away an SN pixel blade, which means that different effects and will already be in here. I'm assuming this one's gonna be red. Ooh.
Oh, Van, you look so embarrassed. You're blushing. You're red. Oh my goodness. Hey, Van, Ark, can you explain to everybody why we were giving away a dark saber?
We are giving away this NeoPixel SN, sorry, Pixel tonight because we made over 1,000 subs last week. Woohoo! In fact, where are we at? I want to say we're at like 115 or something like that.
We are at 1,023.
123. Woohoo!
Yes.
So tonight, one of you lucky winners will be winning this. All you have to do is leave a comment like many of you have already in the side, even just saying hi. Robert said greetings. That is enough. That gets Robert an entry for the end of the show. If you want more than one entry, log into more than one YouTube account and leave a comment. Every YouTube account you leave a comment from will give you one more entry. So you have until the end of the show tonight. If for some reason you have to leave the show, tune back in at the end of the night to see if you are a winner. What's up, Leonard? To see if you won. Now, I do want to say if you are the winner, it is your responsibility to get a hold of us. You are also responsible for getting the saber. So either we can ship that out to you or you can pick that up here at the shop. And we are in Vacaville, California. But at the end of the show, you are going to hopefully you'll still be watching and you can let us know. We can communicate here, or you can message us at Kyber Cave Productions at Gmail. You can email us there, or if you're on Facebook, you can use Messenger at Kyber Cave Productions or Kyber Cave. Did I get that in? Did I do that right?
Yes, you did.
Oh my goodness.
Robert, I know he says Robert says I'm probably not going to win. We don't know. You just never really know.
You know what, Robert? In a lot of our contests, we've had anywhere from 10, maybe 10, even 20 people that have tuned in and tried to win. I've had at least 2 or 3 times where I had met a person that day at a convention. They tuned in that night and won a saber. So, I don't know who's winning these sabers, but I know that they're costing me money, man. I don't know who's winning them, but I'm giving them out. Hopefully you will. I'll give one to you, Robert. May the force be with you.
Hello, Justin.
Hello there, Thomas.
I missed. There was a lot of comments, and so I'm sorry that I missed a couple. Yes, Thomas is on time for once. That's always fun. All right, guys. So first things first in our show, what do we always do?
Nerdy news.
The nerdy news. Okay, first thing in the nerdy news is that Jazwares Star Wars Micro Galaxy Squadron Series 3 is coming up. So if you want to first look at it, this is one picture in the article. You can actually check out in the description below. There is a link to it, a new Squadron series. And so I thought that was really, really kind of neat to see a sneak preview of it. So feel free to check that out. And the other thing, don't forget, I didn't put this as news because everybody knows Mandalorian starts, y'all.
Yes.
I mean, how can you not mention that? I just didn't put it in the news because it was just obvious,
Oh, wait, no. This is February, so there's only 28 days in the. It starts in 3
Oh,
days.
it starts in 3.
Oh my God.
Did you forget that February has a shorter month?
I have no concept of time.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, we'll see Saewon. We'll see. Hi, Selena. How are you? Next in our news is the Rogers the Musical coming to the Disneyland Resort this summer. So, if you don't know what that is, in the TV show, the Disney Plus show Hawkeye with Jeremy Renner, there was Rogers the Musical, which was a stage musical about Steve Rogers. And it was a part in the song like, I could do this all day. And it was like this big singing and like great, and it was like really cheesy, and you could tell Hawkeye himself did not really care for how it was done. But the show itself has been written out, and they are bringing it to Disneyland Resort this summer. So if you want to check in more information out about that, hello Jedi Knight and Jeff, how are you? Hello Robert Parsons. If you guys want to check that out. I'm excited too as well, Robert.
I have a bit of nerdy news. I don't have a cool graphic or anything, but I have something to announce that I'm super excited for. You know what they're going to be building at California, what they're going to start working on at California Great Adventure?
What?
San Fran, Tokyo, baby.
San Fran, Tokyo from Big Hero 6?
Yes.
That's
going to be
cool.
a San Fran, Tokyo area. I'm so excited.
That's going to be a lot of fun. Oh my goodness, I just saw you on the other screen going like this. Oh my goodness. So that is our nerdy news. So if you want to check out information about the Rogers Musical, there's an article in the description there as well.
Woohoo. Thank you for our nerdy news.
That is the nerdy news report from Mitso.
Dun, 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 dun. All right. And up next, we are lucky enough every single week we have a fantastic producer, Mr. James Kaiser, aka Dartcephalus. He is worldwide known as one of the OG flow artists, and as such, in such a position, he is able to bring us other up and coming and even highly well-known flow artists. So this week, who do we have, Miss Metz?
We have a performer. We have two mini performances by him. His name is Tyler Spades, and if you would like to check him out, his name is Spinning Spades on all of his socials. And so I actually think I linked it. I didn't link it, but I said his social down below because I wasn't given any of his specific socials. But without further ado, thank you, James Kaiser, for this information. Here is Tyler Spades. So dramatic.
Ow, that was cool.
Oh. Yeah, that one I enjoy. I did really enjoy watching that one.
Yeah, and those that have been with us on this segment, we've been doing this segment for a long time now, a couple of years now. It's not always lightsaber flow. Sometimes we'll have fire flow,
gloving.
I was gonna say that.
You know, I would remember.
Gloving, fires, fire darts. We've had all kinds of things, fire sabers. So we are very appreciative. Thank you, Mr. James Kaiser, and thank you for Tyler Spades. Was that flying spades? Spinning spades?
Spinning Spades on social media.
Spinning Spades. Thank you so much. That was dope. All righty.
Oh, is it? Dr. Saber said that the saber that we show that you have with you is his brother's saber.
That his brother. Oh, the one that.
Hi, Frank.
So yeah, so in all full disclosure, the saber that the winner tonight will be getting will not be this exact dark saber. The dark saber is literally in the mail right now as we speak, being shipped to the store. So we should have the saber that is going out in the next day or two. So we actually borrowed this from one of our customers who had bought this from us so that we could show off this beautiful saber that will be going to somebody's house. So you won't be getting this exact saber, but you'll be getting one just like it, and you won't have to fight anybody for it.
Yes, you must win it in battle. So if you win tonight's drawing, then you must show up at Kyber Cave to a battle. No.
That's right.
And then one stipulation too is you cannot have won a saber in the last 3 months. And if you cannot come to the shop to pick it up, then you have to pay for the shipping.
That's right.
Yes, those are the two like main.
Depending
And then
on
you
where
have
you're
to
at.
actually have to contact Kyber Cave.
Right.
Yourself.
Depending on where you're at, it can be anywhere from like $10 to $25 or so if you're in the United States. But
Yep.
we will get that out to you if you cannot make it here. All righty. Miss who? Oh, do you want to introduce our guest tonight?
Sure.
Yeah.
What?
I got confused.
All right.
Go ahead.
Many of you have actually heard of the Saber Legion on our show, and our next guest is one of the competitors with the Saber Legion, and he has been to different places. I think I saw when he sent us a video, one was in Florida, and a couple places. So it looks really, really cool. So without further ado, here is Alec Martinez.
Ow! How you doing tonight, Alec?
I'm doing great. How about yourself?
Oh man, life is fantastic. Anytime I can watch people beating each other up with glow sticks, it's a good night.
It is probably the best hobby in the world.
Well, why don't you tell people a little bit about yourself, what it is you do, and what we were looking at in some of those videos. One thing I had noticed was I saw some TSL in there, but I saw there was another one where you were using a shield, and I don't think that's something TSL does.
Yeah. So Saber Legion is a first touch sport, which essentially is the base concept being that whoever manages to make initial contact, we don't have a right of way system or an afterblow system. So I participate in the standard, exotics, tag team, and unity divisions. Standard is essentially any saber up to 51 inches, which can include either single hand or two-handed sabers. The exotics division is our division of competition that is cross guards, saber staffs like Darth Maul has, the saber pikes and Yari that you see the Jedi Temple guards with, dual wield like you see Anakin using. And the concept is that we want to see all of them together. And tags are kind of my personal favorite, actually, our community outlet, which is where I get to partner with some of my best friends and we get to go against another team and try to win that match against them. And it's a blast.
So that's a 2-on-2.
Yes, it is nuts.
Very cool. And I noticed you said Unity in there too. For some people who may not be aware, Unity is some crazy stuff, man. That is not for the weak at all. That is more to me. I accredit. Okay, if you watch a saber fight, Alec was mentioning first touch, which means if I touch you, it's almost like tag. If I touch you with my saber, I win the point. Unity is different. Unity is more like a boxing fight where you're just going at it for I don't know what, 2 minutes or however long you guys do it. You're just going at it, and then you have judges that are clicking how many times each person's getting hit. Am I correct?
Yeah, so I would describe our standard division as, you remember the fight in episode 2 between Obi-Wan and Count Dooku, where Count Dooku just lightly slashes him across the leg and he falls over.
Right. Right.
Standard assumes that, yeah, if I got touched by hot plasma, I would be done. So that's our standard division. The Unity division reminds me a whole lot more of Empire and Return of the Jedi, where the only points that score are the points where if I hit first and escape while parrying without getting hit afterwards. So what in HEMA we call an afterblow. So if I touch someone, it only counts if I escape safely. Either encouraging me to disengage effectively or to parry effectively on the way out. And the idea was, I believe, initially created by Alan Block and David Laudenslager. And their idea was we had a system that reminded us more of what the movies looked like in our youth, as opposed to what they grew into later. And it results in a really dynamic format. But the other stipulation is we never get to stop. So even if we disengage, we have to be ready for the next person to engage almost immediately.
Wow.
And we never know the score until the end of the match.
Wow. Does that make it more challenging?
Yes.
As a
so
fighter?
it definitely takes away a lot of the gamesmanship that you see in like classic fencing, where I know I'm up, so the other guy has to come to me. There
Right.
is that little element of, I don't know if the judges saw what I felt in that last exchange. I have to be sure to keep engaging to make sure I win.
Right.
So it adds that little element of insecurity, and the element of having to protect yourself on the way out is much more, to me at least, realistic to what is encouraged in most martial arts with swords and steel and sticks in general.
Right. Now, do you do any other type of martial arts, or do you come from a swords background? How did you get into this?
Yeah. So I came from both a background that included Eskrima and HEMA primarily. I've done a little bit of a couple other martial arts around, and my primary background prior to everything was an empty hand martial art. I did mostly Muay Thai, and I got absolutely in love with the and the competitive spirit of martial arts. But as I've grown into a career, I needed something that was less of a concussion risk.
Yeah, I know out here, we're in Northern California. We get a lot of guys. When I had my Saber dojo in downtown, we would get a lot of the SCA guys who were tired of taking the heavy hits, and now they have a kid, so they still want to fight, but they don't want it to be quite as dangerous as real steel.
Yeah, I do still play with real steel, but I do have the general rule of I tend to only play steel with people I know I trust.
Right.
And I'll glow stick boop almost anybody.
Right. Do you have a preference, or are they just different games to you? Is one baseball and one's football?
They're very different games. The HEMA and fencing for me is far more of the connection to history and the pursuit of the historical knighthood and the concept of what would I have fought like if steel were in my hand. And LED Saber to me is a lot more of a fun way to just engage with other people who really share a lot of my interests, whether that is swords and Star Wars or Lord of the Rings. My tag team partner, Seth, the two of us have themed our entire kits after Lord of the Rings because it's what we love. And but it allows me to connect with other people who've done Eskrima or Japanese sword arts and Chinese sword arts. I even met a really cool guy who did some of the Hawaiian arts like Lua, and introduced me to like a Nihopahoa through this stuff. And it's really amazing.
Wow.
Just the types of people that I've gotten to meet through it.
Let me ask you, Alec. Obviously, we are a creature of evolving technology, right? First there was spears, and then little knives, and we evolved to swords, and then guns and cannons and missiles. Why do you think? I mean, unless World War III breaks out and we lose technology altogether, we're probably not going back to swords. Why do you think so many people are still fascinated with swords hundreds of years after they stopped being relevant?
Oh, I got to go on a 3-hour rant about this if you really want. But, the short version is swords have been historically the weapon of the heroes, the kings or the knights. They were a weapon that was mostly afforded to the rich. Most of us, if we were born nowadays, if we were conscripted into a medieval army, we'd be using a sword and a spear, or sorry, shield and spear.
Right.
The sword was a fairly expensive weapon, and to be able to afford something that was created with that much skill and time and unfortunately money, it was usually the people who were best trained and best armed. And so you have historical figures or heroic figures, whether it be Beowulf, Achilles, or Robert de Bruce, who were famous for their swordsmanship. And it resulted in a expansion of the mythology of the sword, whether it's the famous swords like Excalibur or the famous swordsmen like George Sinclair. And their ability to dedicate their lives to martial prowess really allowed us to focus in on that aspect of them, even though in general it was usually their dedication that we were to aspire to. But in the modern day, we can connect to it, and it allows us to look at something that we look back and, wow, I wish I could be more like them. And I think it's still a wonderful thing to study, and it's the reason that I continue to study it, is because it is a wonderful way to be introspective about your mental understanding of those around you, your mental understanding of yourself, and your physical self as well.
Right. We have a question here from Liam. Liam asks, I know the answer to this, but I would like you to give your answer. How widespread is TSL? It is.
So
worldwide.
TSL is an international organization. We have charters literally worldwide. The majority of U.S. states have them, as well as several major countries in Europe, Central America, South America, and Southeast Asia. I don't believe we've made a whole lot of major inroads into the Middle East, or I don't believe mainland Asia has had a huge take on it yet. But we're hoping to continue expanding, because whether it's through TSL or any of the other Saber communities, our general motto is united through sabers. This is a unifying weapon across both what we jokingly refer to as nerd culture, but as we were just talking with swords, human culture, that we'd love to.
Losing a little bit of you right there, Alec.
Yeah.
The last thing I heard was human culture.
Yeah, sorry about that. Oh yeah, so sorry. So yeah, the human culture of sword. So in general, we're trying to continuously expand, and keep meeting new friends and keep getting booped in the face by them with glow sticks.
Now I know we've had on the show recently Charlie Cummings, who is the president of TSL. Yeah, a really fantastic guy. When we had Charlie on here, we were just starting to come out of COVID. So things weren't quite, they were just starting to get set up, but competitions hadn't happened yet. How has it been now that we've been out of COVID? Are more and more competitions heating up?
We have more competitions now than we did pre-COVID. I am in Florida specifically, and I tried to hit everything I can, and I have pretty much an engagement a month till the end of the year right now.
Wow, that's incredible. So that's all within TSL. That's not other leagues.
Yeah, those are specifically TSL events that have got at least one a month. It's going to be a great year.
Wow, that is amazing. So for Liam, really quickly, and for anybody else that may be interested in finding out more, you can find out if there's a TSL in your area. And if, pardon me, I got the hiccups. If there is not, you can start a chapter in your area. A lot of times, we've talked to several TSL people who maybe the next TSL is in the next state over, so they kind of use them as mentors, and they kind of help them establish their own TSL in their area.
Absolutely. We're always looking for new people to grow.
All right. So I know TSL is like your main thing. Do you fight in other leagues as well?
Yes, so I've also competed in SCL, which was Saber Combat League. I don't know how active it has been lately. I know they tapered off recently over the past year, I believe. I've also
Right.
competed in several HEMA events, which is more steel specific.
Right. Do you have a preference like now? I mean, I know you were talking about, the difference between them, but do you have a preference, or is it just do you like to keep sharp on
Ooh,
both sets of skills?
I do literally both every week. So
Wow.
usually Saturday is my TSL night, and Tuesday is my HEMA night.
Wow. Now, okay, so when you're wearing HEMA, are you actually wearing the metal armor when you're doing, or
So that is
actually, I'm thinking of
so that's
SCA,
actually
I
a
think.
separate, usually a separate league. SCA does it as well. The two most popular are Armored Combat League and Buhurt. And they are what is referred to in German as Harnischfechten, which is a fancy way to say fighting in armor. It's
Uh,
usually reminiscent of tourney-style melees. In HEMA, we tend to do what's called Blossfechten, which is more similar to what you would do in a gentleman's duel,
mm,
which would be something more like someone wearing gambesson challenging you on the street because you insulted their family or their honor. And so we tend to wear more like a gambesson type material.
right. I know. For example, we used to do light speed. I don't know if you're familiar with light speed, but they
I am.
require much less armor than say TSL or HEMA does. Do you find a difference? Are you more comfortable heavily armored, or can you fight in say a TSL situation where it's just the mask, just the gloves?
So I've absolutely done a couple different types, and because of that, I, I am biased more towards and also just having had experience in other areas of life. I don't know if you ever used like a chef's knife and accidentally cut yourself.
Right.
Sharp metal doesn't take a lot to be painful. So I
Right.
am heavily of the opinion that I don't need to swing a sword like that to be damaged very heavily. And so whether I'm doing HEMA or TSL or something more akin to light speed, tend to hit more on the precise versus the whack 'em like a baseball bat side.
Right.
And because of that, my style really caters to whatever I'm wearing, I'll fight in it. There are definitely
Wow.
styles that are specific to heavy steel armor or Blossfechten or very light touch, more like classical fencing. And I don't think there's a wrong answer, but my style is kind of the middle ground where I'll play anything.
Right. Mezzo says, "I'm martial arts. I've sparred both with and without a chess piece. I prefer without. Yeah,
Oh,
it
yeah.
is very different. I feel like without you have more mobility. It feels like you're able to go quicker, but obviously it hurts more when you get hit.
Yeah, they're very different games. And you even look into like historical context of how people moved if they were fighting in a cuirass versus without, and the martial arts are completely different because getting hit in the chest if you're wearing different, but also you can't move your arms the same way, and you might T-Rex
Right,
it a little
right,
bit.
right. One of the interesting things that I've seen when I've gone to TSL competitions is it seems like you really see a mix of influences. You see people that come in with the kendo style where they have the saber above their head. You see more of the Hema style where they're blocking forward. Is there an advantage? You see the eskrima where people are used to the shorter two-handed, variety. Do you feel like there's any advantages, or because you were saying you do both standard and exotics, right?
Yes. So I am going to probably misquote Brutally on this one, and absolutely say that artist, not. I have seen phenomenal Hema fencers and phenomenal Kendoka and amazing classical fencers and amazing escrimadores all be very successful in TSL. And it really comes down to, did their game work against their particular opponent on that day? Because I've seen the same person be beaten by someone with the same style. So I really don't see a huge game of like rock, paper, scissors in regards to style. And it absolutely comes down to that martial arts truism of it's the artist, not the art.
Right. I feel like that's one of the nice things about sabering, because your blade is essentially 360 degrees as opposed to one side or two sides. It feels like it opens itself a lot more to different types of styles.
Yeah, it becomes a very ubiquitous art where we joke sometimes that we're like an MMA of sword arts and stick arts, where
Right.
it doesn't matter where you come from, you're gonna find a space and you're gonna be successful. And it comes down to your dedication, your training into whether or not you're successful that day.
Right. Now, remind me again, I apologize. How long did you say you've been fighting for?
With TSL specifically, I've been fighting, I believe, 5-6 years.
5 or 6 years. And let me ask you, in what you've seen in the last 5 or 6 years, do you think that this is a sport that will continue to grow, or do you think it's kind of hit its plateau? What do you see for TSL and saber fighting in general?
For both TSL and saber fighting in general, the thing I've seen that's been most encouraging is that every year I've been to an event, it has changed drastically, which is to me the sign of something that's going to keep growing. And whether that's the competitors who are on top or the efficiency of how our competitions are run, we're always improving and always growing. I've seen new people, I've seen bigger events, I've seen better sportsmanship, better judging every time I've been to an event, regardless of who's running it. And to me, that is the signs of a sport that should continue to grow, because it's showing all the aspects of what we should see.
Right. I'm fortunate enough. I live out here near San Francisco, and I've been fortunate enough to meet Alan Block a few times, who is an absolutely, not only is he an incredible fighter, he's just an incredible human being in general.
Wonderful person. I love Alan.
Do you feel like there's a lot of camaraderie in the saber community, or is it like, oh, I'm not going to teach my secrets because then you're going to beat me?
It's absolutely the camaraderie. And I think that is one of the advantages to when you get to the combination we have of the, like I said, MMA thing where we have different styles coming together, but the, for lack of a better term, the nerd side of the community where we all just want to feel like we belong.
Right.
I don't see a lot of cliques form. And when they do form, they almost get shut out really quickly, because everybody here seems to want to be here to just continue making new friends and making things better and learning more. And whether it is a phenomenal, like Jie Wu is this amazing kendo practitioner who has, through his exposure through TSL, and started to really climb up the ranks in HEMA. Or vice versa, you have myself, who started more on the Western sword side and started to learn more into Eastern martial arts. We all just seem to have this concept that, oh, this is just neat stuff to learn. And I think that's the type of people who are attracted to sci-fi, is people who like learning.
Right.
And because of that, it's formed this community where the community comes first and the sport comes second. And while that may affect how competitive some people are, I always think that's for the best.
Right. Do you think I know, what was it, roughly 4 years ago or so, France was the first company to accept sabering as a actual sport. And I love the thought process behind it. From what I understand, their idea was, if it gets a kid off the couch and exercising, who cares if it's from a movie or if your blade turns on or off or not. And I absolutely love that philosophy. Do you think the rest of the world will ever see it that way, or do you think this will always be something for nerds and kids?
No, I honestly, I 100% agree with that philosophy. So moving aside of this, my primary job is I'm a physical therapist, and before that, I was a personal trainer. And
Uh-huh.
my philosophy in both is that you don't care if it's exercise if you're having fun.
Right.
And whether it's swords or lightsabers or archery, which are some of the most popular things we see on screen right now, if it gets people moving, it's great. Because if you don't think about it as, oh, I had to go to the gym today, but
Right.
oh man, I get to go play with my friends. That brings me back to where I was at recess when I was a kid, and I don't care if it's dodgeball or glow booping. It's awesome to see people just enjoying themselves moving and not feel like we have to be relegated to any particular space.
Right. Do you feel like there is a place for sabering in the Olympics right now? I've gotten to talk to a lot. Like I said, I've talked to Charlie Cummings. We've talked to Tony Negron, Faisal Main out in London, and a lot of these Kang Snow who runs Lightspeed. Um, a lot of these different leagues, they're similar but not the same. Do you feel like there's too many different things out there that there's never ever going to be just one set of things that we can all agree on and go, okay, these are the rules and we're going to take these to the Olympics and this is how we're going to do our point structure? Do you think it's too difficult to think, or do you think that that's possible to come up with one set of rules?
Oh, it's 100% possible because, and this is just looking at the historical context of things, swordsmanship games, which is what became fencing, which is now three weapons of fencing. You have epee, foil, saber. Those didn't start in one spot. They started from different games that people were playing to try to make themselves better fencers, in the old English term of the word fencing. And I'm sure at some point, if we really desire it, we could absolutely find a way to make enough people happy that we can make this an Olympic sport. The one thing that I would love for us as a community, regardless of what organization you're a part of, to look at with that is what is the goal? Because there are different ways of looking at the Olympics. One way is, of course, the personal prestige of the Olympic gold. But the bigger thing that the Olympics have done for many sports is bring them to enough of a forefront that it got more people to try it.
Right.
And whether that's skiing, snowboarding, fencing, or any other particular event that you see at the Olympics, eventually everyone had to sit down at a table and go, what's more important, my view or the betterment of our general concept? And I absolutely think that is well within the realm of the Saber community, because that's what guides us in general, is all of us wanting to be part of a community.
Right. Right. Do you think having things like Disney, okay, I feel like with a lot of people that I've talked to, one of the blessings of Disney is it seems like, okay, I own a Saber store here called Kyber Cave. This June will hit our 5-year anniversary. The point of the matter is that I came in roughly when the whole Force Awakens, those sets of movies came out. And a lot of the OGs that I talked to in the Saber community said that was when there was kind of like an awakening in the Force, right? That was when people started getting more into sabering. The Saber community started to grow. The Flow Saber community started to grow a lot because of the influence of Disney. That's the one side, but at the same time, do you feel like it becomes more dumbed down because it's now like a franchise that's it maybe not as taken as seriously, I guess, is what I should say.
Uh, So this is going to be a really controversial opinion that a lot of people are probably not going to like. I am heavily of the opinion that the more people that are part of a community, the more opportunity we have to keep growing as
Right.
humans. So whatever company owns the base concept that we all come from, I am not heavily of the opinion that more exposure is bad. And I love Star Wars. Star Wars is something that I really bonded with both of my parents over because of when they grew up and what they were interested in. And it's part of what got me into this sport. And I've seen it change, obviously, from when my parents first took me to the re-releases that Lucas released of the new edits of the original trilogy, to when the
Right.
prequels first dropped, to when the sequels dropped. And what I have to say as an adult who stepped back and tried to look at it from a literary analysis perspective is all of these movies are pop culture, and there's nothing wrong with the pop side of pop culture being enjoyable.
Right.
And if it brings more people to hit me in the head with a glow stick, that's awesome. And I don't care which movie they liked most.
Right.
Are they fun to be around? And that's what matters.
Right. Now, let me ask you, as a fighter, well, first off, I assume, and I'm going to assume, but I'm going to ask you now, I would assume you use stunt sabers. Am I correct? Or do you use full
I tend
sound? Or...
to. When I'm in exhibitions where there's bigger audience, I will
Mhm.
absolutely use the higher tech sabers, and I have a couple of them for specifically that purpose. But yeah, for the majority of my training and practice, oh yeah, it's just beaters with a thing that lights up.
Right. Now, to make a little bit of clarification, this is for our audience who may not know different
Oh yeah.
terminologies. A stunt saber is going to be a saber that lights up, but doesn't. That's pretty much all it does. It just lights up, doesn't make any sound or anything like that. Let me ask you, when you're saying higher end sabers for demonstrations, are you talking about a NeoPixel, or are you talking about an art like a Golden Harvest RGB or something?
So probably the peak saber I own is an Electrum Sabercrafts. I don't know if I'm allowed to drop names here.
Yeah, of course.
Uh,
That's
theirs is it's Bluetooth compatible with my phone, so I can mess with colors and fonts and smooth swing. It's my personal one is not a NeoPixel because with our sport and the speed at which I move and the fact that I'm often hitting a hand protector, I've broken a blade or two in my time, and I just don't feel like
right.
replacing it.
Right. Well, it's a lot
Um,
easier replacing a $30 blade than a $150 blade.
Oh boy, is it ever! Um, and I've gotten very proficient at that. And so that's my high end saber, but I do have a couple of mine that I plan on reinstalling as a NeoPixel
Right.
because there are a couple sentimental pieces to me that just for whatever reason I really would like to have this be a permanent wall piece.
Right. Well, we were talking about that just before the show. There's different types of sabers, right? You've got your working
Yeah.
saber, you've got your cosplay saber, you've got your wall piece, you've got your one that you just show off, just to show how cool
Yes,
your
this one
saber
lives in a
collection is.
special case that no one touches.
Right. It sounds funny, but I literally have that at my house.
No, like literally
um,
behind on the wall behind me, you see two swords. One of these is a really good sword for cutting, and the other
right.
one lives on the wall. No one touches it.
One's really good for decorating.
Yes.
Now, would you, because in fact, I want to say it was Alan Block. I can't remember who he was with, but I want to say he did one of the first demonstrations of a NeoPixel battle because there were so many people that were saying, you can't fight with the NeoPixel, you can't fight with the Neo, but they wanted to demonstrate that you could actually fight with the NeoPixel. And I do want to say that I'm in that middle ground. I realize I can fight with the NeoPixel. I just don't want to take that chance.
Oh yeah. No, you're 100% right on both aspects of it. So that was Alan Block and David Laudenslager, and both of them use NeoPixels, and it is the complex factor of any weapon, whether it's a steel sword or a polycarbonate blade. There's a chance of a break. And if
Right.
you're whacking two solid pieces of any material against each other, at some point there could be a fracture, right? Is that
Exactly.
particular piece expendable enough to you to do that?
Right. I don't have
And
money
so,
flowing out of my pockets that I can just fix
yeah,
a NeoPixel every time I break it.
and that's kind of where I sit, and that's why my high-end demonstration saber is still a baselit saber.
Right.
But no, it is still made of the same polycarbonate grade, and the pixel strings inside it are durable enough to take impact repetitively before breakage.
Right.
Any material can be broken when hit repetitively enough.
Right. Right.
And the
I
question
actually
is that yours? And
right.
that's all it is.
I actually really like Bendu Armory offers a lifetime warranty on their NeoPixel blades. For
Yeah.
anybody out there that needs a NeoPixel blade, and he
Lifetime
has
warranties are
video.
well worth it.
Yeah, he has video of him just going to town on a tree with his blade too. What do you see? What do you see in the next? Well, we're gonna get ready and get wrapped up here in a
Oh, yeah.
second, Alec. But what do you see for the future of your sport?
Um, More than likely, I expect that we're going to see more and more of us conglomerating together until we find a mutual territory where we have a couple events within under one umbrella.
Right.
And that's real similar to what we saw in fencing. Is you have saber, foil, epee, right? And none of them agree on their individual rule sets, but they can all agree to be part of each other. And
Right.
I absolutely think that's probably part of the overall future of LED Saber is at some point we're probably going to all go, this is easier together.
Right.
But I still want to play by these rules, and it's okay if you play by these rules. Let's just all hang out all the time because it's a lot of fun.
Right.
I think
Yeah.
that's probably where we're headed.
All right. Last question. I know you fight standard, you fight exotics. Let's say that you can only compete with one weapon in one category ever again. Which is your favorite? Do you like cross guards? Do you like pikes? Do you like a standard saber?
I absolutely have an answer for this. I didn't think I would. For me, it's the cross guard. I absolutely chose cross guard for exotics because I did not want to be a spear. The spear is across human history one of the most prolific and useful weapons, and I didn't want to be basic. And I decided
Right.
if I wanted to win, I wanted to win with a greatsword. And I
Nice.
subsequently did. I took a tournament, took gold with a greatsword, and I never want to turn back because that's now my baby.
Woohoo! I have when I fought in TSL, I fight with I don't know if you know this, but the saber, but it's a JQ Excalibur, which is a cross guard, but it's a cross guard with a slight 30-degree angle
Yes,
as
it is
opposed to
a
the
gorgeous
90.
saber.
Oh, I love it. You can catch blades so much easier than that 90-degree
Yep.
angle. And then personally, I use a one-handed curve tilt when I'm fighting light speed, when I need something faster. I like a one-handed. I built it out of MHS parts.
Yeah.
But as opposed to like when you go to a lot of other companies, I see the bigger two-handed curve tilts. But having the one-handed gives you a lot more speed for me.
Yeah.
Wonderful, Alec. I cannot thank you enough for hanging out with us tonight. It has been an absolute pleasure. When's your next? I know you have a fight every month. When's your next fight?
Yeah. I think so. In March, I believe I am mostly judging. My next fight should be in April.
Woo-hoo. Where's that going to be at?
It's going to be up in Maryland at the Starfighter event.
Excellent, excellent. Well, hopefully, maybe they will webcast that and stream that so we can watch that.
Yeah.
And follow your career. Is there any place if people wanted to find out more about you? Is there any place that they should go?
Yeah. So you can find me easily on Instagram. I am. So I also do Irish step dance. I am the Dancing Swordsman on Instagram.
Nice.
If you look me up on Amazon as Alec Martinez, I wrote the book La Academia de Sable de Luz. It's specific for TSL and SCL, a manual on how to fence with both one-handed and two-handed swords.
Oh, wow. Excellent. Okay. Well, thank you so much, Alex. Alec, sorry.
Oh, you're
I
fine.
wish you the best this year, and I'm excited to see where your career takes you.
Thank you so much, and you have a great day.
You too. All right, roll that film, Meso.
If you want to check out Alex's book, it is linked in the description below, and I also posted it into the chat.
Excellent.
So please
Mez,
check
I
it
need you
out
to
there.
hold the stream down for 30 seconds. I got to use the bathroom super bad.
Oh my gosh, just go. What do I do on my own, guys? This feels weird. I feel like him not being there is so strange. What do I do? I'm not gonna rap like I did for gaming. Was it last week or the week before? When Aubrey had to use the restroom and I rapped for everybody, and that was everyone who was watching had to live through it. So become chaotic. Cody, how do I become chaotic? I'm not chaotic with one trigger. It's just natural when it happens. Now, Van, pause the internet, everybody. Pause the internet while I go and do this. I say, well, yeah, the dark saber is sitting there. He has returned, but the dark saber is sitting there, and he will show it to you momentarily. I am sure. Yeah, there it is.
Yes, I washed my hands.
And if all of you are wondering why Van sounds better, why he looks better, it's because his laptop was operated on a week ago.
Yes.
Body you, Cody. I love you, Cody. Graveyard said rap because I was telling them what do I do, and they said tell a joke. They rap. Okay, tell a joke. Why do Danish Navy ships have a barcode on the side? So they can Scandinavian.
Wow.
Are your parents beekeepers? Because you're just as sweet as honey.
Wow. Okay.
Take your saber. TXQ Saber wants you to light it up.
Oh.
It was fancy, Cody.
Yeah, let's change the font.
Get on with your exercises. Tell me, is this training? My training? No. Always training. The universe is. I won't make it easy.
Ooh. So they come in multiple different colors. This is green. You'll be able to tell by the character, whoever comes on.
Hello, Sharpie.
Give you an indicator of who the oh my gosh. Oh. So yes, this is a TXQ Dark Saber. It is not recommended for actual dueling, although it is very sturdy. We do have videos of these being smacked around, so I would not use it for like what Alex does, competitive fighting. But if you were just doing a demonstration with your friend, or if you wanted to lightly play around with it, you can smack this around as much as you could smack around one of those sabers that you get from the amusement parks that are heavily overpriced.
So Graveyard asks, where might people be able to get sound fonts from for it?
Well, that's a great question, Graveyard. We are fortunate enough to have a wonderful producer named Fours FX. He is on Thursday, Mondays, and Friday nights. He's on multiple shows of ours. But if you go to foursfx.com, you can choose.
He doesn't have
that
Force
one out
FX.
longer.
He's on Saber font.
He's just at Saber font?
I believe so.
Okay, we'll head over to Saber font. In fact, on my personal Saber, I have Scott Pilgrim, Spaceballs, and his Darth Malgus on one of my personal sabers. Make sure to check that out. Also, make sure to head over to kybercave.com. I want to let you know at the beginning of this month, since we got so many people, we're almost at the end of our show, and I know people are waiting for this. They are here for this. I do want to let you know at the beginning of the month, we are going to be doing a special fundraiser. We often do lots of giveaways and charity for people in our community, but this fundraiser is for one of our own. Our producer of Beatdown, which if you haven't seen that fantastic show on Tuesday nights, basically people beating each other with lightsabers with a DJ music played on top. He is the producer of Beatdown, and he also produces Hearts of Kyber with me on Wednesdays, which is a health and mental and physical health show. Anyways, he is wheelchair bound, and he's been fighting for several years with the wheelchair company because he needs a new wheelchair. Um, uh they will not provide one for him, and really it's just a particular part. He doesn't need a whole chair, it's a particular part of the chair, but they don't make it anymore, which is why he has to invest in getting a brand new chair. um
Yeah.
but we are going to be doing a fundraiser for him. We're going to be getting a GoFundMe set up. Part of profits of all of our Saber sales beginning March 1st from May to May 3rd, part of those profits will be going towards John and getting him a new wheelchair. So please check that out. I will let you know about promotions then. As we get to May 1st, I will let you know what kind of promotions Kyber Cave is going to do. But just know that when you buy a Saber from Kyber Cave in the month of March and April, a portion of those profits will be going towards getting a wheelchair for one of our producers.
Yes. And also, before we start Kevin's segment, we have yes, Cody, it's wonderful. We have Graveyard was our he's a co-host on the Mostly Pod Out at Night Mostly, which is a horror podcast. They were actually a sponsor for KyberCon 3.
Woo-hoo.
And I will be posting a link momentarily into the chat. If you would like any merch of theirs and use KyberCon 3 as the code, you'll get 15% off.
Yes.
And that goes only for a couple more days, I believe. So
I need
I
to get
will
over there
post.
and get my merch.
Oh, Graveyard just posted the link in the chat just now. Perfect. There is the link to their store for their merch. KyberCon 3 is the code. So
and very soon, if you are a Patreon member, one more thing to let you know about. If you join our Patreon before the end of the month, so you got a couple of days left. If you join at the family or the friend tier, you are eligible to win one of 5 Sabers in for May 4th. So we'll be giving away those 5 Sabers at the end of April. We'll probably announce it here on this show, but you need to be either on the friend level or the family level. If you are on the friend level, you have an opportunity of one of 4 Sabers. 4 of our Sabers out of our display case. They won't be like the cheapest Saber. We'll have ones at different ranges. If you are on the family level, you have a chance at those 4 plus an extra one that you only get at the family level, which will be a custom made Saber. So it'll have like custom etching on it or a custom paint job or something like that. So join our Patreon the next couple of days at the family or friend level, and you will have an opportunity at the end of April to win one of 5 Sabers.
Danny dice hola un tiempo solamente. You only need to say hi once. You don't need to say hi 5 times.
Hi, Danny. Yes, we're giving away Saber tonight, Danny.
Hey, Mr. Berger. Hello.
Hey, Mike Berger is in the house.
All right, so next we have our other producer every week, Kevin Hogan, goes to conventions and gives us a report. So without further ado, here is his report. Thank you, Kevin.
Hello, well, this is Kevin Hogan from Northern California with an episode of California Comic-Con Adventures. On the weekend of Saturday, February the 18th, 2023, the city of Sacramento hosted the Mardi Gras parade there. We got to see our friends over at League of Heroes Inspired charity organization walking the parade, handing out beads there. They had a whole cast of very creative characters there, from Spider-Man, Raven from Teen Titans, Batman, Wonder Woman, Clone Troopers, Paw Patrol, and other Star Wars characters walking around there. League of Heroes Inspired, you may have seen going to different charity organizations and children's events all around Sacramento County, bringing cheer to people of all ages there. They're great folks if you ever get a chance to say hello to them there. And also going on that same weekend there, up in the Red Bluff area there, was the Age of Rust and Fire event there. February 18th through 19th there. That's a post-apocalyptic theme Comic-Con there. Got to see people take their vehicles up there, add some spikes and skeletons to them like in Mad Max, and lots of people doing armored gladiator battles there, and lots of cosplayers walking around in Vikings and Fallout themed costumes and Call of Duty war gear. So it's very creative getting to see all the creative costumes they had came up there. And down in Central California at the same weekend there was also the Weekend Blender Comic-Con that's going on in the Sierra Vista Mall there. Every year this is a free Comic-Con they do in the mall there, where the mall is still open there, but they have the center aisle filled with all the Comic-Con vendors there, and also the cosplayers get to walk around the inside of the mall there, bringing smiles to everyone's faces there. So it's a great chance to get to show off your costumes there for free there, and it's really awesome there. Great, definitely want to check that out there. And also on February the 19th, our friends over at Ohana Comic-Con visited the city of Hanford. They got to see lots of our local friends there. They had their vendor hall there, and also got to see the cosplay contest there with all the creative little costumes there, so it was very fun. Ohana Comic-Con, as you know, visits a different city up and down the state of California every weekend. And upcoming events like theirs are going to be on March the 5th. They're going to be visiting the Hollister area, so definitely get to check out that there. And other events to look forward to, on Saturday, March 11th, there's going to be a NorCal Spring cosplay gathering in Los Altos at the Redwood Grove Nature Preserve. And also on Sunday, March the 12th, is going to be the 5th annual Contra Costa Con in Concord, so definitely looking forward to visiting that there. Well, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoy the pics, and we'll see you out there at the next Comic-Con.
That's fun.
You know what's so cool? I saw in those pictures, I saw a woman named, I believe her name is Christina Garcia, maybe. She was
Okay.
Wonder Woman. But what's kind of cool is, like, she's somebody that I know through my Facebook cosplay groups. I've never actually met her, but I was like, oh my God, I know her. I know that costume.
That's cool. It's
That's
fun.
cool.
I remember there's a TikToker I follow, and a while back, I knew she had gone, so she and her husband live in the Bay Area, and they're big Star Wars fans, and they went to convention. She was dressed up as something, I'm blanking on what it was.
Mhm.
And she was in one of his pictures from the reports. And I was like, hey, that's Tony. Oh my goodness.
Alrighty.
All right. Oh,
I think
is
it's
it
time for this. What do you
is
think?
it time?
time?
I think it's time.
This time. Look, it even does effects. All right.
Ooh.
So if you have left a comment in our comment section, you have an entry into the drawing. If you have done it from multiple YouTube accounts, you have multiple entries into the drawing. We are going to be doing that drawing right now as I turn this off. Danny, if you do not win, I don't want to hear anything from you at school tomorrow. I'm
Yeah,
cutting you off. I'm letting you know that.
Danny is currently in chat timeout because he kept spamming. I warned him. Hi, William. I warned him. I said, if you keep, I said, you only need to say hi once. He posted it probably about 10 times. I said, if you keep posting it, I will time you out. And so he is currently in timeout. He can see everything. He just can't comment at the moment.
Ninja and William, you guys made it just in time.
Just in
Sharpie,
time.
you made it
All
just in
right.
time to get
Yeah, as you
drawing
can see,
in.
as you came in and commented, your entries were put into there. There are currently 51. I do not count myself.
Wow,
I commented,
51.
so I know it's not in there. Yeah, it's the most we've ever had. And if you do not win tonight, do not fear. It's not a dark saber, but every 100 subs, we give away another saber.
That's
so
right.
we're only 74 away from the next one. Like,
God.
I never thought I would say we were only 74 away, but like we were growing faster than I had feel like I anticipated. And so
Yeah,
and
we're growing faster than my wallet can handle.
grow faster, take it.
No! Yes, when we hit that next 100, and you can always tell if you go to our YouTube page, it'll tell you the number of subscribers that we have up there. Every we used to do it up until the 1,000. We did it every 50 subscribers. Now we are
No,
extending it out
Ceylon.
to every 100 subscribers.
Ceylon's like, can I trade a saber I won for a dark saber? All right, guys, who's ready?
I'm not. I'm scared.
We can
Who's ready?
do
Who wants this? Well, not this one because I don't. There'll be people that
3,
are mad at me.
2, 1. Here we go. Who's gonna get the dark saber? Oh, who's gonna get it? I'm like freaking out about this one for some reason. Mike White.
Mike White. That sounds familiar. Do I know Mike White? Is that somebody from Sacramento? Why do I know that name?
Mr. White. Remember, everyone, if you win a saber, it is your duty to contact us. So please, Mike White, if you are seeing this, message us at kybercave@gmail.com and let us know, hey,
Or
there's Mike White. There he is in the comments. Woohoo! Congratulations. He just commented again.
Yay,
So
Mike, where are you
congratulations
from?
to you, Mike. Yeah, where are you from, sir?
We'll give him a chance to respond to that. I can't remember. For some reason, I want to say Mike White is somebody I met in Sacramento, but I'm not 100%. You know what's really cool, though? I love that we're getting to the point where I don't know who people are in the comment section. When we first started this, I knew everybody. They were either somebody I had met or somebody I met through the show. Now we're getting to the point where so many people are joining. I don't know who some of these people are. Mike is from Redding, California.
Oh, that's not terribly far.
Not terribly too
Isaac,
far away.
his name is Mike White. He is in Redding, California. So that is who won tonight. Wait, is Steven still there?
He's not. He's gone.
Oh, okay, good. I just let him know in our Facebook chat that who won the saber, and I was like, wait, if he was there, he probably already knew. Oh, so goodness.
Mike White, yes. Go ahead and send us a email at kybercaveproductions@gmail or kybercave@gmail. Or to be honest with you, if you have Facebook, the easiest thing is to send it through Facebook Messenger to Kyber Cave or Kyber Cave Productions.
Yes, message either one. The difference is the Kyber Cave Productions is like specifically YouTube channel stuff, but
right, it goes to her.
Yeah, and so it goes to me. And since the saber is more from the store, usually the Kyber Cave one is probably the easiest one to message and get a hold of. There's a lot of us around here. I've been waiting so long. Mike, I am so happy for you. I am so psyched. Guys, don't forget, if you didn't, all the others who did not win tonight, we give another saber away in 74 subs. So share our channel. We have a lot of fun. Before we talk of the town, which is the end of our show, let's talk about the shows real quick that we have for you. So we have this show, Saber Rattle, every Sunday at 7 p.m. Pacific. We have interviews, news. As you see, we do giveaways. We have our flow artists and such. On Mondays, we have Retro Alcove uploads where we have Graveyard, our host, plays with others that are retro games. Tuesdays, we have Beatdown with our producer, John, who we are going to be raising money for a wheelchair for. He does DJ beats to Saber Dueling, which is really fun. Wednesday mornings, we have our gaming stream with Moa. Yes. I play sometimes with myself, a lot of times with friends. And that's at 10 a.m. Pacific. And then at 5 p.m. Pacific that evening is Hearts of Kyber. And that is like our heart-to-heart show in a sense, where you've got our host, Van, and John, who is our Beatdown AbiliTV DJ. They host a show about physical and mental disabilities and your health portrayed in media. And then Thursdays nights at 8 p.m. Pacific, we have another gaming live stream, and that's with Force and Friends. And they've been doing the Dead Space remake starting last week, which is such a fun game.
Yeah.
So freaking cool. It really wants me to can they do Dead Space 2 now? Yeah, like, yes, and join the community, fellow cavers. We do have a Discord. If you check out in the description below, there's a Linktree link that will take you to the store. You'll see the Discord link, the YouTube channel. You see all the links that you need to see. And then on Friday evenings, 8 p.m. Pacific, we have After Dark. We recommend 18 plus for that show, as that is got some topics and adult language and such that are a little bit maybe harder for children to understand.
That's our only non-kid show.
That's the only non-family friendly kid show. I mean, there's swearing allowed on the channel except for this show specifically, even though a co-host of mine sometimes breaks that on accident.
I don't know what you're talking about.
He's what I'm talking about. He does not know what I'm talking about, people. You all know what I'm talking about. So Saturdays, currently, we do not have a show, but we have a show in pre-production that will be taking place on Saturdays. We'll officially announce it when we've got everything in place. Very excited for that one. Oh my goodness, that was a lot of talking.
Yes, because we got shows 6 days a week. We're almost at 7 days
I know, it's
original
crazy.
programming every single day of the week. What
In
more
2 days, it'll be my 10-month anniversary.
Wow.
Being on Kyber Cave, which is just crazy. And thank you, Mr. White. I see your message on my watch. Mr. White has already contacted.
Remind you, you do need to either pick that up here or there is a fee for shipping whatever it costs to ship to Santa Rosa. So
yes, and don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel and share because we're just a bundle of fun. All right.
And I also wanted to remind you, Mike, this is a NeoPixel. This is the only NeoPixel we have given away on this channel. All of our other Sabers have been RGB, but for the 1,000th subscriber, we thought we'd go big and go hard. And also, Mando season starts here in like 3 days. So
yes, Danny has returned. Hello, Danny.
Saber ready. Sorry you didn't win, Danny.
Sorry, Danny.
Sorry at school tomorrow, I'm sure. I got stickers for you, homie.
Yes, stickers. Stickers
all right,
are always fun.
All
right, guys.
Everybody that is tuned in tonight, we cannot thank you enough. I know many of you came for this, but just keep in mind we do this every 100 subscribers. So
yes, not a NeoPixel Dark Saber every 100 subscribers. That was specifically for 1,000. At 1,100 subs, we will do a Saber giveaway. It will not be a NeoPixel Dark Saber, but it will be a Saber, and they're always a heck of a lot of fun. All right, so everyone, have a wonderful week. Thank you for tuning in, and we look forward to seeing you at our next show. Ciao!
Enjoy the Talk of the Town.
Yes, enjoy Talk of the Town. Bye.